Well, welcome back to the second episode of Sports Talk with Love. And like I said, this is the second episode, and I'm filming a video, so that's what we call being consistent. That's something that I lack. But hey, let's get into this episode. So, last night, the college football playoff rankings came out, and we're going to just take a little look at them. This is the one, I think this is the one. Nope, that's the playoff. We're going to get to that in a minute. These are the rankings here. So here are the rankings coming at 25. Cincinnati. We finally have some G5 representation with USF. Tennessee moves up to 23 for some reason. They're still ranked. Pitt goes up to 22. Iowa only falls one spot after a competitive game with Oregon. Louisville drops down to 20, as well as Virginia dropping down to 19. Michigan moves up to 18, and USC, they're at 17. Georgia Tech is at 16, and we have Miami leapfrogging Georgia Tech, which a lot of people were very upset by. Vanderbilt, they go up to 14. Utah's at 13. BYU falls out of the top 10 and drops down to 12. Oklahoma moves up to 11. Texas is at 10. Notre Dame is at 9. Oregon's at 8. Ole Miss is at 7. Texas Tech leapfrogs both. No. They only leapfrog Ole Miss, I believe. Georgia's at 5, Bama 4, A&M 3, Indiana 2, Ohio State 1. So the top 5 stays the same. So, like I said earlier, Miami leapfrog Georgia Tech. That's probably like the most controversial thing that happened in these rankings. A lot of people don't agree with it. But hey, the committee favors them over Miami. Over Georgia Tech. Also, a lot of people were expecting JMU to be ranked because they are like the best G5 team with the best record, I believe. I believe they're like 9-1, and USF is 7-2. So a lot of people probably expected JMU to get the ranking, but nope, it was South Florida who leapfrogged and they got the ranking. But yeah, let's get to the bracket because I gotta say something about the bracket. I made a TikTok about this last night, and it is basically surrounding the 6-11 spot. They have Miami as the number 11 seed. Miami should not be in this bracket because if the season ended today, Miami would not be in the playoff. The team that will be in the playoff would be Georgia Tech because they are the number 1 team in the conference. Miami is just the highest ranked ACC team. Now, there is a scenario that, let's say this bracket stays the same. Let's say it stays similar. There's a chance that Miami gets left out the playoff because they didn't win the conference. Like they will be ranked higher than the ACC champion, but the ACC champion gets that spot. And I kind of hate that ESPN is showing this, or not ESPN exclusively, but like a lot of TV networks, a lot of sports media companies are using the same bracket, and it's misleading because it's not true. And again, it's not that big of a deal, but I don't think it should be that way. They should just leave it with Georgia Tech. But anyways, that's just my little rant. Do I want to talk about something else here? No, that's it. I don't have nothing else to talk about the bracket. The bracket looks fine. Who has the toughest draw? Let's see. The team who I like that they changed the format from like top 4 seeds go to the highest 4 teams ranked because last year somebody would have had an easy draw. And yet again, for the second year in a row, Ohio State has the toughest path to the playoff. They get either Oregon or Notre Dame, and are going to have to play Alabama or Georgia in the semifinal. Meanwhile, over here, Texas A&M, the number 3 seed, they either get Miami or Texas Tech. Texas Tech is legit. Miami is questionable. And then you have Ole Miss in Texas, which Ole Miss is a legit team. Texas is kind of gaining their legitimacy back. But anyways, if I'm Ohio State, I don't think I want to be on this side of the bracket. I think I'd rather be on this side of the bracket. But it is what it is. With that down, let's get into some previews of some college football games this week. All right, I got my notes up. So, first game, 12 o'clock. Oh, come on. The first game taking place 12 o'clock noon on ABC. Sorry for those who have YouTube TV. You might not be able to watch this game. We have Pitt taking on Notre Dame, and this game has huge playoff implications. For one, for Notre Dame, they need to win out to make the playoff. If they win out, they will make the playoff as an at-large team. And for Pitt, I know their coach said this game does not matter, which is a complete lie. Like, yes, they could win the final two ACC games, but this game matters a lot because there is a hypothetical scenario out there where, like, Pitt can be an unranked ACC champion and get left out the playoff because the American and the Sun Belt occupies those two other auto bids. So to the Pitt head coach saying that these games don't matter, that's a stupid shit. I don't want to swear on here, but that's something that's stupid to say. Like, this game matters, it matters. But let's go through the stats here. Um, Pitt, they come into this game with the 37th ranked offense in FBS. They have they have the 11th ranked passing offense, the 104th ranked rushing offense, and they are sixth in the country in scoring. While their defense, let's go over Notre Dame's defense. Notre Dame's defense is 44th in the country. They're 90th against the pass, 14th against the rush, and they're 17th in the country uh against scoring, allowing points. So this is going to come down to a can their passing game beat Notre Dame's passing defense? So it's going to be a passing game type of game. Let's look at Notre Dame's offense versus Pitt's defense. Notre Dame comes into this game with the 15th ranked offense in the country, the 26th ranked passing offense, the 26th ranked rushing offense, and the 9th ranked scoring offense. So they are a well balanced team. While Pitt comes into this game with the 25th best defense in the country, they have the 97th worst passing offense. Passing defense. So they're towards the bottom. The third best rushing defense, however, and they're 43rd in the country in scoring. So, do I have some other notes here? Yep. Pitt is not good at holding on to the ball. They have a -1 turnover margin. They are below average in FBS, while Notre Dame is one of the best teams in the country at taking the ball away and holding on to the ball. They have a +10 turnover margin. Pitt also is one of the most undisciplined teams in college football. They are near the bottom in discipline. Like, they give up 70 penalty yards a game, while Notre Dame is above average. They're 52nd in the country, averaging 51 penalty yards a game. As well as this, but Notre Dame, they struggle to cash in on the end zone. They have a 75%. Damn it, what I want to say. They are 75% on scoring in the red zone. So it's not necessarily scoring a touchdown, but touchdowns, field goal, whatever. They ranked 123rd in FBS. But with that being said, I think Notre Dame will eventually pull out in this game. They have the better team, and I think they're going to win. So Notre Dame, they're going to keep their playoff hopes alive. The next game we're going to talk about is Alabama versus Oklahoma. Another game with huge playoff implications. And I want to say this game has huge playoff implications because if you're either one of these teams, you kind of want to win out because the way this is looking like there's this doomsday scenario out there about like potentially getting 6 SEC teams in. I don't think that's really possible without help. Like maybe an Oregon losing, a Texas Tech potentially losing again, a Notre Dame losing, because there's a good chance that we could have like 6 SEC teams be 10-2, but one of those SEC teams get left out. It's going to be a lot of controversy, especially when you lose those games. Because in college football, a lot of people like to shout who you lose to. It's also about when you lose the games. But let's go to this um, matchup preview. Alabama's offense is 57th in the country. They're 14th in passing, near the bottom in rushing, and they are the 39th scoring offense in the country. Scoring offense. Oklahoma's defense is 7th in the country. They're 22nd in passing defense. They're 4th in rushing defense, and they're 7th in scoring defense. So this is gonna be might be another low scoring game for the Tide. Let's look at Oklahoma. Oklahoma is below average in FBS. They're 78th in the country in overall offense. They're 62nd in passing offense. They're 95th in rushing offense, and they're 64th in scoring offense. While Alabama's defense is 18th in the country, 10th passing defense. They have the 54th rushing defense, and they are 13th in the country at allowing points. So This might be another, low scoring defensive game. Maybe you might get like a 20-14 type of ending. But with that being said, I think I want to lean Alabama here. Yeah, I think I trust Alabama to get the W here. Next up, we have an underrated game on the radar. And for some reason, this game is taking place on the Big Ten Network. I don't know why this is taking place on the Big Ten Network. This would be like the next game we're going to talk about after this being taking place on the SEC Network. But USC ranked 17th in the country, Iowa ranked 21st in the country, and this game is taking place on the Big Ten Network. Mind you, the games that are on that's going to be coming on TV, like obviously, I think this game is being played in Southern Cal, so it can't be the big noon. It can't take place on Fox because they can't play West Coast games at noon. But this game is taking place. The games that are coming on CBS is Penn State versus Michigan State, and the night game on NBC will be Ohio State versus UCLA. And yet, this game right here, the best Big Ten game on paper, is taking place on the Big Ten Network. Let's get into this. USC versus Iowa. Here's the matchups. USC has the second best offense in the country. They have the 10th best passing offense in the country. They're 22nd in rushing, and they have the 7th scoring offense in the country. Iowa's defense, 4th in the country. They have the fifth best passing offense in the country, the 17th best rushing defense in the country, and their 5th best scoring defense in the country. Iowa's offense, 122nd ranked in the country, 133rd ranked in passing offense, 48th in rushing offense, and 60th in scoring offense. USC's defense, these Lincoln Riley, he has a solid defense, man. 48th in the country overall, 51st passing defense, 60th rushing defense, and the 43rd scoring defense. So this game could be much like last week's battle between Iowa versus Oregon. I don't know who I want to pick here. This is kind of a toss-up game because this might be one of those games where Lincoln Riley just squanders it away. I think I'm gonna ride with USC here. Give me the Trojans to get the W. Next, we have Georgia versus Texas, another game with huge playoff implications. And for Texas, this is a guaranteed must-win game. Because if Georgia loses this game, Georgia still can piggyback on beating Georgia Tech. But for Texas, you lose this game, you're done. Like, I don't care what the people say out there, like, oh, well, if Georgia just wins against Georgia, or if Texas just wins against Georgia or Texas A&M, there's a good chance they can make the playoff. No, they're not. This game right here against Georgia is a must-win game for Texas. The Texas A&M game, in my opinion, I don't think that is a must-win game because if Texas wins this game, they're probably going to get ranked in like the top 7 or like top 8, maybe top 7, something like that. Then they can potentially lose a game against Texas A&M. As long as it's a close loss, they don't get dominated. They can probably take a loss against Texas A&M. A loss against no. Beating Georgia, the college football traditions are going to hate me for saying this. Texas beating Georgia right now is more valuable than Texas beating Texas A&M at the end of the year, in my opinion. And when it comes to like making the college football playoff. This game is more valuable than the A&M game. Texas lose this game, I don't think they're making the playoff. But let's get into the preview. Georgia comes into this game with the 32nd best offense in the country. They have the 60th best passing offense in the country, 24th in rushing, and they're 29th in scoring. Texas's defense, however, is 22nd in the country, 96th against the pass. They have the second best rushing defense in the country and 11th best scoring defense in the country. While their offense is 72nd in the country, 51st in passing, 96th in rushing, and 60th in scoring. Georgia's defense, 20th in the country overall. Their passing defense is 58th in the country. Their rushing defense is 12th in the country. And their scoring defense is 24th in the country. So, if you watch Georgia all year, they are always in these close games. Texas, They have a very good defense, and I don't think this game's probably going to come down to Texas's offense. Can Texas's offense kind of keep that momentum up? If they can, there's a good chance that Texas can win this game. But if Texas's offense just goes back to being what they have been all year long, then I think Georgia's going to win this game. And with that being said, I am going to pick Georgia to win this game. So yeah, that is the preview of the biggest games from college football this weekend. Oh no! I don't want to stop recording. I want to pause. All right, let's talk about this right here. Now listen, I'm a casual NBA fan, so what I might say might piss off like a lot of diehard NBA fans because of the things I might say in this rant. But the NBA just released its new. I don't know what I'm doing. The NBA just released its All-Star game format for next season, and it's horrible. So for the fourth straight year, the NBA will be doing a new All-Star format. In 23, they did the little like players pick teams. In 24, it was East versus West. 25, I don't know what they did last year. They did some type of 4-4 bullshit. I don't know. And then now this year, next year, they're going to be doing this All-Star format. And it's just stupid. Like, they're trying to piggyback off of the Four Nations Showdown stuff that happened in hockey. And it's just... Let's just go through this. So we're going to have 3 teams. 2 U.S. teams and 1 world team. We're going to have 4 games, 12 minutes each. So it's just going to be 1 basketball game. A round robin tournament. So each team is going to play each other, which is stupid. I hate like odd number round robin tournaments. Like it's kind of why I don't really like the NBA Cup, because one team's going to be on a bye. It's just stupid. The championship will be the top 2 teams. So basically the 2 teams. And then the All-Star format is still 24 teams from 12 teams each, whatever bullshit. It's stupid, man. It's so stupid. And this just reeks of desperation. Like, a lot of people like to shit on, like, Adam Silver for doing a bad job as commissioner, which he has done. But his handling of the All-Star game is probably the thing I hate the most, what he's been doing. Just keep the format simple. Like, just either keep it players picking their own players, or just go back to East versus West. Stop trying to change the format, all for the name of thinking that the players are going to care. The players don't give a shit about this fucking game. It's meaningless to them. What's the fucking point? Whatever. Stop trying to change the shit. Just go back East versus West. I know Kofi Y. I forgot. I think his name was Kofi Y, the YouTuber. I know he said like, oh, just East versus West. Let players take their own jerseys. And then we just do the Elam ending. I agree with that. Just do that. Stop changing the fucking bullshit. All for the name of like, oh, trying to make the players care. The players are not gonna care. They won't care. You can't make them care because the shit is meaningless. But oh, what about the fans who spend thousands of dollars to come watch these players play? Who cares? Why are you spending this much money? Like, you've seen what this event has been for the last 10 years, and you're still spending money to go to this fucking event? Okay, so what? That's your loss. You lost that money. Just don't show up. Like, at this point, the All-Star game is about seeing the stars. It's not about seeing the stars perform or seeing the stars take this shit seriously, because they obviously don't. So stop spending the money. Look at the NFL. Just like 4 years ago, like for the last 4 years, Pro Bowl tickets were like $12. $12. They just recently moved the Pro Bowl to the week of the Super Bowl. I think it's going to take place on like a Thursday or something. You know why they did that? They did that so they can jack up the ticket prices, because now you got the Super Bowl branding on it. And how much you want to bet no one's going to still care about that game? No one's still going to show up to the fucking Pro Bowl. So stop changing the All-Star format, because it reeks of desperation of trying to say, hey, fans, we care. Guess what? The players don't care. And I'll tell you what, I bet this event is probably going to be fun for the first year, and everybody's going to eat it up. And then it's going to go back to your traditional players don't give a damn. Because first off, this is USA versus the world. I know a lot of fans have been crying for like a US versus world All-Star game. This is meaningless. I don't care. Like, we haven't had an American win an MVP since when was it? 2018 with James Harden. So like my best guess would be like the international talent might beat the US talent. And I wouldn't be surprised if the US talent beat the international talent. What is the whole point? Like, if we're gonna do this whole little foreign nations ripoff, how about we do an actual foreign nations tournament? How about we have U.S. players play Canada players, U.S. players play French players? Oh, we can't do that because obviously there's not like 11 All Star Canadians that play in the NBA. There aren't 11 All Star Frenchmen that play in the NBA. Let's just go back to East versus West. Like, I don't like this whole USA versus world stuff or whatnot. And it is what it is. So that's just my little quick little rant about the All Star game. All right, another thing I wanted to talk about, and this might be short and sweet, and I want to talk about Matt LaFleur's struggle with play calling in the last 2 weeks. Well, the Green Bay Packers offense, because I honestly believe, in PSA, I want to make a political statement here. Chuck Schumer and the Democratic Party has had better offense and strategy during this government shutdown than what this Green Bay Packers offense has been displayed on the field the last 2 weeks, and then and in all of their losses. By the way, it's just been awful football. Like Matt LaFleur, I've said this a lot. That I said that Matt LaFleur, when he's in his bag, I think he's a top 3 play caller in the National Football League. But over the years, on like an average Sunday, the guy has kind of like developed into like an above average play caller at best because it's And I know Jordan Love and the receivers don't go unblamed here because Jordan Love was missing some guys that are wide open or making bad mistakes, like not leading the receivers in the right direction or having bad ball placement. And some of the receivers aren't just flat out catching the ball. And it just sucks. And now, at the end of the day, I will say this though. We're only halfway through the season. We have 2 months left in the NFL season. 2 months is a eternity in the NFL. So you never know. Remember, the Rams lost the entire month of November and went on to win the Super Bowl. The Kansas City Chiefs lost on Christmas in front of Taylor Swift and went on to win the Super Bowl. So there's still hope. Hell, the Patriots, they lost in Miami. The Patriots, that 2018 Patriots team was probably the worst Patriots team to win the Super Bowl. So there's still a chance for the Packers. Like, we have a lot of football left to be played. So I don't want to give up hope yet. And as well as we are starting to get players back, even though Elton Jenkins just went on IR and Tucker Kraft's out for the year. But we've gotten Christian Watson back. We're going to get Jaden Reed back. Matthew Golden was out last week. He's going to be back soon. So hopefully, like, they get their shit together and we go and win the Super Bowl. Because making a trade for Micah Parsons, you're going to have high expectations from the fan base to say, hey, for these next 2 years, this year, next year, maybe the year after that, it's Super Bowl or bust. Like, I don't care if they win 12 games. If you don't win the Super Bowl, this is a bust. This is a Super Bowl caliber team. But yeah, that's it. So yeah, with that being said, if you've gotten to the end of this episode of Sports Talk with Love, thank you for watching. Please hit the like button, share the video if you can, and comment your thoughts on anything that I've said or anything you would like to add on to. With that being said, thank you for watching the video.